Yeah, man, I want just on that topic in general, I wish there were more, like how people watch football games and baseball games. I wish it was more like people, come out to watch races, like at the bar or at home with family or wherever. Like I still have yet to find any establishment in New York where I can go and see racing on the TV. Like, no,
Yeah.
I'll see some sort
It's
of
always
racing.
like little niche bars that'll like have it on a TV in the corner because
Right, yeah.
no one
And
likes
like
racing.
those are, I know Indy has them and stuff, but like I wish all I hope out of all of this is that IndyCar becomes a great catalyst in growing the inclusivity of motorsport, because regardless, at the end of the day, more people need to know about the sport. I think that's what we're all trying to do. I think that's kind of where we're all headed. So I think what they're doing is getting us there. It's just gonna take time, man, and no one really kind of knows. This is kind of like an uncharted territory with like social media and kind of how. I mean, I don't know how your relationship with social media has been growing up as a driver, Yuven, but it's been kind of a weird thing for me. Just kind of figuring it out, how often you post and how you connect, and kind of is it something you should think about a lot? Is that healthy for you, sort of a thing?
Yeah, I've got my fair share of
I can
yelling
say
from
that
Nick
Yuven doesn't
on that
think I'm
side.
posting very often.
Yeah, Nick always tells me to post more, but I've never been a fan of social media just forever since the inception of social media, which makes me feel old that I say the inception of social media, but no, it's just like, I mean, one thing is always, at the end of the day, right, you're just posting a picture of your car. It's going to be the same thing. If you didn't change your car livery, no matter where you are, it's kind of the same thing. And to me, that's always the thing. I'm a big guy. I love to post when it's something super special to me. And so that's the thing that Nick always tells me, because I was always like, there's nothing going on. And he's like, find something that's going on. And that's another problem with, the amount of money and sponsorship things that you need nowadays is you need that social media following, and you need all that stuff to get that and to tell sponsors, look at this, I've got this following. And that's really tough. And at the end of the day, it's, if you don't have anything interesting, what's the point of posting? But then also you can't be out of sight, out of mind. And you do, I think you probably have, you and David Malukas, I think, have the most most unique social media presence, because of the stuff you guys post, right? Now David Malukas is posting his chill guy sweatshirts and everything like that.
But if you, like, Myles or Yuven, if you guys try and go out and do the same thing David's doing, it probably won't have the same.
No, I'll get laughed out of.
It's not
I'll
your
get laughed out of the series.
Yeah, it's not your personality. So I think some people are. I guess you could. Some people are born with it. I also know the guy that David's working with on all that stuff, and he's really good too. And so it helps to have those, like, David's personality and then the resource to do it. And people don't really understand that sometimes, but yeah, there's a way to do it, and then
It's like exploiting your character, but like there's a balance to it, which I think social media, especially like if it becomes a big part of your job and kind of like could be your revenue stream or is your revenue stream, finding a balance of that is what is the dangerous thing. I think is it, because like let's say like David, I'm sure he's getting brand deals, but let's say he starts getting all these brand deals, and he's making, let's just say hundreds of millions. I mean, like, how far can he exploit himself? Is that really healthy for himself? Is that healthy for how he's living? And like, I don't think those are things, like, I don't think like athletes talk about enough, and just generally, it's out there, but I don't think it's like, especially around athletes, I don't think we even just in our circles like really talk about kind of like what we share and even why we share it, sort of a thing. Because it really does resonate with people at the end of the day, and I think some of us take it for granted. I think some of us take it too much to heart, sort of a thing. I think finding that balance within social media is so tough.
I think that's big too. Like, talking with other people in the series that have a massive following. The people that have millions and thousands, hundreds of thousands and millions of followers, right? It ends up becoming an issue at times, because they have so many commitments that they have to make that it takes away from the racing side. Like, just I've talked to people who in the series, right, and they're like, yes, I really want to do this, but I need to keep my sponsors happy, I need to go, to LA to film this. I need to go to New York to film this, and I have to do this. I have to do this, and it ends up becoming, it takes a toll. It's people say, oh look, this is such an easy way to make a living if you have millions of followers and you can just do that stuff. But at the end of the day, it's difficult.
Like my girlfriend Antonia, she and she's like a wizard on social media. Like that's her job. That's what she does. At this place called New House for the Gradient. Like some people and I'm sure there's a lot of influence out there that it's just like a piece of cake for them. They're just like, this is so good for me. It's part of their lifestyle and it doesn't affect them. For me, I'm definitely not one of those people, and I'm sure yeah, you're not either, Yuven, and yeah, definitely, and even for those people, I'm sure that they struggle with their own balances. It's it's such a weird thing though. I don't know, when I was in go-karts, I definitely wasn't focused on social media that much. But it would be Instagram was just kind of coming in, and it was you can kind of get something out of it, but you would see go-karters, it'd just be go-karting posts, and in terms of what we're looking at in racing, and it wasn't really much leverage with that yet, unless you're already doing it.
And even then, it kind of even becomes a little bit of a drug. I mean, I know Nick and I, when we did my whole thing with the University of Wisconsin, we were every 15 minutes we were texting each other look how many likes this has, look how many likes this has, and look how many followers I've gained. And
that post, you guys had that idea. It was executed really well, and it was communicated with the people we were collaborating with super well. And for with Yuven, we're you're speaking to you, it's you don't want to post unless there's something something is happening, and that's I understand that entirely. It's just that you also you get tied down to well, your sponsors need to see that what you're doing. You need to just get your posts out there, even if you you crash. It's you still need to make a post. And I'm I know for a fact the last thing Yuven wants to do right now is make an Instagram post about this race weekend. But so that's where the side of it it's kind of shit, because it's just you don't want to, but you just have to. But with that Wisconsin thing, it was something Yuven loved. It was something that was really, really cool.
Mm-hmm, it was really cool.
We collaborated with UW, the university, Badgers football, and I think I'm trying to find the post now. That got, where is it? It's not that one. There it is. It was easily your most interactive post ever. I mean, you had, I'm looking at it right now, you had 22,000 likes, which you average maybe 200 on a race weekend post. The engagement overall, it reached 152,000 accounts. 99.4% of those were people that did not follow you. 0.6% were people that followed you, which is insane. And then you had, it brought in 7,000 profile visits. And I think you gained how many followers did you gain?
I think it was 350, 400, 500 followers, something like that.
There's things like that. That's really cool. I love that. That was one of the most rewarding things. And just looking at the
and
other
people don't also realize how much effort that took. There was so many people involved in that. I came up with the idea, I think in January or something like that, and I was I want to make this happen for Road America, and it wasn't enough time. And Jacob Donahue, incredible person, and he works for Able, and he's super helpful, and was kind of working through that whole thing, and Nick was, and all the Co-Force guys were super involved on the videography and planning and everything like that side, and it was so much effort, a year's long worth of effort, and it all came together a week before the event, and it was a ton of work, and it at the end of the day, that's the kind of stuff that ends up working out well, because it was worth the amount of work that went into it.